Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FB4. I am your host, Gav. With me is Grizz and Matt. Liverpool at top of the league, 4 from 4, 12 points. Everyone else is nowhere near as good as us. Let me see, we're all on screen. Let's hope this works. Grizz has decided now, just as we go live, to adjust his camera, which is going to lead to the house falling down. So just bear with us, okay? Matt, first question for you. How far could you jump between two buildings?
What?
Come on. It's the question of the week so far, Matt. Two buildings side by side, there's a gap between them. How far do you reckon you could jump?
Oh, okay. I get you. I don't know.
I think you can do a lot. You can do a lot, Matt.
I reckon I could do quite well, yeah. I would say 7 metres.
7 metres? 21 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get as much of a run-up as I want, yeah.
As much of a run-up as you want. They're both flat buildings. There's no lips. There's no messing, like, you know.
Right. 7 metres.
7 metres. Great. How between two buildings, what distance do you reckon you could jump with, as much of a run-up as you want?
Why
3 foot.
Why are you laughing, Matt?
You just get stuck in between two buildings. That's all that's going to happen here.
Okay, so now you're laughing as well, Gav, yeah?
Sorry, I knew he was going to say that.
You're going to ask me a serious question. And
I know, it's extremely serious. Go on, I'm listening.
No, I'm serious, sir.
I know, yeah.
And so am I.
All right, well, it's difficult to tell. Because it could work two ways.
There's only one way this is going.
Yeah, no.
Well, it could work two ways. If I catch the wind at the right time, right, with my weight, right?
Yeah.
I could go quite far.
Okay.
So, but realistically, if all weather conditions are normal and stable, there's no wind. If Matt's saying he can do 7 meters, and I rate Matt, I think out of the trippers, he's probably the fittest. And he's done mad shit like this. He does mad shit like this. I think, and I've been.
He does this on a night out. Never mind.
Yeah, I've done a bungee jump before.
This is my routine.
You've done a bungee jump before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we'll get onto that later. Go on.
I have no. What's the one that catapult? I've done the catapult before.
Oh, the one would shoot you up in the air.
Shoot you up into the air. So
the
I've done
complete
that.
opposite to a bungee.
From my experience of catapulting, I think I'd do about 3-4 meters. I think I'd be quite good if you give me a run up. I'm G-force. You remember?
Yeah.
So I think I can get quite a bit of velocity behind me, and I'll go about 4 meters.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, just thought I'd break the ice with that one. Matt, Liverpool have won 4 games out of 4. They picked up a European Super Cup along the way, and yesterday they went to a ground that most people think is difficult to go to, and we've had difficulties at in the past, and absolutely bossed Burnley from minute 1 to minute 95. How impressive were they?
Beautiful. I mean, you guys mentioned last week about you were a bit nervous about going to Burnley, this team, and how we are now. I didn't bat an eyelid. I predicted nicely 3-0, I think. I think you'll all find as well. I knew it would be routine. These teams, getting worried about Burnley is just something that we've done in the past, and so we're still doing it. These teams are no longer a threat to us. The only teams that are now a threat is the top 4. It's United, City, Tottenham, and Everton because of the stadium. That's it.
United and Everton are top 4 though, but go on, I get you.
Yeah, all right. City, Tottenham and Everton are our hardest 3, I think. Klopp can't seem to get past Everton, I don't know why. But other than that, I don't worry about anyone.
You don't worry about anyone. It's you feel it's getting to the stage there where this is becoming like Real and Barcelona. You have 1 or 2 below them that you have to navigate throughout the season, and the rest you just swat aside as you go along. Is that
exactly?
Yeah.
Exactly, mate.
Okay, cool. Grizz, I know you don't think Liverpool can win the league, but
No.
No. That's the truth. That's a factual statement. You do not believe Liverpool will win the league. It is. It's a factual statement. I can prove it. I can get the facts if you need me to.
I've got the screenshot.
Yeah, so do I. But you don't believe Liverpool will win the league, Grizz.
Right. That's different. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't.
Not win. Of course, they can win it.
Well, can they win it? But you don't think they can win it. Same
Correct.
difference in it. Okay. But looking at that,
same distance.
It is the same thing.
I can do 4 meters.
it's completely the same thing. But would you say, Grizz, looking at that yesterday, that was a performance of somebody that, I'll put it this way, if Man City went and done that yesterday, there'd be hours of footage on Sky about it and how good they are. Is that how good it was? Because I thought it was.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was that good. I think that was a benchmark, an example of where we are as Liverpool Football Club right now, because that was so mature, that was so expected, as Matt says. It was so routine, and yet we're talking about Burnley, who are undoubtedly one of the toughest grounds to go, or teams to play for other teams. Matt, let me finish. So for other teams and us in the past has been a tricky ground, but we're at that stage and we're at that level now. That was so mature. I don't think we really had to step it up at any stage. It was so controlled. I was mightily impressed, and dare I say it was a performance of champions elect.
Barry Carr says we played a tough game away at Saints. We played a top team. We played a promoted side. Came through them all, no problem to us. So I think he's on our wavelength when it comes to this. Matt, the starting lineup is exactly the same as last week. A lot of people expected, or some people at least expected us to maybe change, maybe at right back and maybe one in midfield. But throughout the week, while I toyed around with this idea, I still thought he'd go for the team he did last week, because it's the last game before the Champions League. Just so strong, man, and just know their jobs inside out and know each other's jobs inside out. And he showed, I don't know if he showed respect to Burnley, Matt, did he? Or did he just say, no, that's the team I have, that's what I'm staying with, and that'll do the job, and my Jays have done the job.
Yeah, you got a week in between games. There's no need to change it unless there's an injury. The midfield is solid. It gives the fullbacks and the attackers more freedom to move forward. And I think, even though when you first look at the midfield and how it's set up, it doesn't look like it's much of an attacking team. The freedom it gives the other players who do most of the attacking means it is an attacking team in my eyes. All three of the strikers can just go. The fullbacks can just go, and they know that there's safety there because Gini, Fabinho, and Hendo are very mobile and put the foot in. So yeah, there's no need to change it up. They know how to beat Burnley. We didn't need to worry about them. We went with it.
Grizz, did that surprise you at all, that team? Did anything about it surprise you? Were you surprised he went that strong and stayed with the team he had last week? Or were you expecting somebody, one or two, to come in?
No, the team kind of picks itself, especially as you said, Matt said about the international break. We've got a 2-week gap now. The rotation and resting is going to probably kick in now with the start of the Champions League and that League Cup thingy bob. So this, as we said, the first 4 games was always going to be to pick his strongest available team, and that's what he'd done. It was just too strong, too powerful. That's the thing about us, where Burnley are probably the most shithouse team left in the Premier League, and yet we managed to shithouse them and get them rattled and get their manager all aggy and their players all moaning and crying all over the place about some of our challenges and some of the robustness of Matip and VVD, and which was beautiful to see in Fabinho. It was marvellous. I mean, teams that tried to out-muscle us can't. Teams that outplay us. I mean, I mentioned it before the game, I did think it was slightly naive of I was going to call them Barcelona, but Burnley, slightly naive of Burnley to go with 2 up top and 2 out-and-out wingers against us, which left them 2 against 3 in our midfield. I thought that was slightly brave, but if that's the way they thought, they could rough us up, then it didn't work because I thought Trent had an outstanding game, Robertson as well against Lennon and McNeil, their respective wingers. Our two centre-halves absolutely bullied their two centre-forwards and the midfield. I thought that was one of the best midfield performances in a long time, I thought, from Hendo, Gini and Fabinho.
Matt, I'm going to ask this question now. I was going to leave it till later, but it's up on my screen, so I'll ask it. So Barry Carr asks, is there more gears to come, is there more gears to come, or is this an even more extreme version of the control we showed last year, right? And do you feel that this form can be maintained? It's uncharted territory for us with Klopp being 3 years into the job, and now we're at this level. So he's asking, can this form we can, maintained, and do you feel we can even get even better?
Yeah, we can improve on Burnley just as the opposition improves. So will we. We don't have to get our third game maximum against these, but then you'll see when we play City, then that's it. It's all guns blazing. It's a different setup, a different type of game. This now, I think we absolutely can sustain it. I think we're on for another point haul, the same as last season, around that figure. This is the new normal. Everyone needs to get used to it. This is the level we're at, and this is where Klopp's got us, and this is where Klopp's keeping us. It's not going to be like past after 2009 or 13-14 when we drop off. That's not the case now. We're still improving as a team, and this team's only going to get better until Klopp leaves.
But if you look around Europe, Gav, and all the super teams and best teams, no one is playing above 70, 75%. There was a lot of noise of Atletico. I think they've dropped points today or struggled today. There's noise about Juve. Even they struggled to beat, So no major elite teams have done loads of strengthening and bought players, and no one's really flying. In fact, it's fair to say we've probably been the most impressive team, maybe along with... No, I can't think of anyone else. I think we've probably been the most impressive team in Europe. And to say all that and then say we're playing at 75% just shows you what the level we're at the moment. And it's perfectly fine. And if you look back to last year, it was very similar. Do you remember we were getting through games and we were thinking there's a lot more to come?
No. Last year was a little bit different. We were scraping 1-0 wins. We were getting quite lucky. Whereas now it just seems that this is the plan and we're executing it perfectly.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is a progression of that game plan that we were trying to implement and we implemented last year. It's just more practice and more progression.
Yeah, okay, agree with that.
Yeah. Thanks.
It's not often I do so. Yeah, I mean, we get a few little bounces here and there. When you hit as many shots as we do, and when you're in the opposition final third as much as we are, then these things are going to happen. It's natural. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it should have been taken away from him. It's too difficult to see if it was going off target in the first place, even though he didn't mean it at all. I think he should have had it. But if you're in the area, it's like people moaning that time we in 13-14 because we were getting so many penalties. The reason was we were in the penalty box so much that's how it works, and that's what that's similar to this now. But if we get a little bit more rubber green this year, people think we got it last year. I don't think we did. If we get it more this year, this could help us win the league, which we're going to do.
Yeah, I feel we absolutely are going to win the league. Sorry, a few people say they couldn't hear me there. That's because I had it on mute. Don't worry about it. It's my fault. We'll get over it.
Brilliant.
Sorry, what, Chris?
Nothing, carry on.
Oh, okay, cool. I
thought I was on mute.
Okay. What was I going to say to you? Yeah, Grizz, the first goal. It just, I don't think there's any nerves there, but it really takes. I really feel it takes the wind out of Burnley. I think they're hoping to get the half-time 0-0 and see how they get on. But I think it really takes the. I think it really takes the wind out of them, and the manner of it is even worse for them. Did you feel like this game's over now? We're 1-0 up. This game is over. Were you that confident?
Gav, we're very nasty team to fall behind to. You know, if we take the lead, you know, it's like, you know, you're going to have to do something amazing, or our goalkeeper or something is going to have to do something totally mad for you to get back into the game. And I'm not going to lie, the only thing that was making me nervous was Adrian. I was like, please, just no fucking about with the ball at your feet. Just clear the ball every time. No fucking about, because the wind was causing quite a bit of a havoc as well. In general play, they weren't hurting us. They were trying to get the ball out wide as much as they can to Lennon and McNeil. I rate McNeil; he's a good player. But I really thought, you know, Trent answered every question of him. Like, you know, there was some talk of maybe Gomez stepping in, and we know Klopp's got a history of bringing in Gomez against a more physical, who he thinks is going to be like sort of more physically or aerial dominance on the flanks. But no, I thought Trent was brilliant. The goal did totally kill their hopes and aspirations. I think it showed as well. They just couldn't get going after that. Bit of a fortunate goal, but hey, for the fuck, man, it happens. These kind of things always work in your favor when you're as Matt says, the more you attack, the more you're in people's halves, the more shots you take, the more crosses. Something's bound to go your way. It's just percentages. That's the way it works. And we would take that. You know, I would have liked it being for a Trent goal to be given because I've got my FBO team, but I will take the assist. Yeah.
Yeah, the pass by Firmino is everything in this goal. It was so precise. It was on Mane's run. He didn't have to adjust his run at all. He didn't have to take a touch. He just ran through and put it where he wanted. Firmino, for me, as you mostly know, he's my favourite player anyway, but he just adds so much to our attack. We would miss him rather than them other two more than anyone, I think.
But you know what the beautiful thing was? Out of all three players, he was the perfect player for that ball to be broken. Like to lead that counter attack, he was the best player to lead that.
Yeah, of course. Salah would have taken it on himself and missed it.
Salah would have shot. The minute I gave it to him, he would have just shot. Yeah. You know, the Chelsea got him last season in his head. That would have been a shot.
But you know, in terms of awareness,
really
weight of pass, it couldn't have been a better player that was leading the attack than Bobby, and with probably the best players in Europe on either side of him to sort of, you know, lead that counter attack. It was beautiful to watch.
We get to half time, and I noticed something early in the second half. The Burnley supporters were completely gone. They knew the game was over. It was very quiet in the ground. Apparently, Liverpool fans having a great time. You know, it's one of those where I felt coming out second half, even the way it started, it was like, oh, this is over. It could be a case of how many for Liverpool. That's the way I really thought the game was going. Matt, we make the pitch absolutely huge in the second half. Both fullbacks are so wide. Salah is trying to stay wide, Mane is trying to stay wide, and we're trying to get the spaces in midfield for Wijnaldum, Henderson, and like somebody said there, Firmino, to expose. and we do end up exposing them, Matt, with the third goal. But I'm going to tell you now, Matt, Mo Salah has no intention of giving that ball to Roberto Firmino, but Firmino just manages to stick it away, because in my opinion, Mo Salah needs to get his head lifted up and start kicking the ball to mates in the same colour jersey.
No, I have no issue with what he's doing. If he wasn't scoring, if he weren't winning Champions League, then yeah, it's an issue. But if he wants to be greedy and he wants to be the one greedy one in the front, he scores the goals. We can't really say change what you're doing. I mean, as long as it doesn't cause too much upset. But these things, I mean, you all shout at your mates. It doesn't really matter too much. It's good to see the passion from Mane anyway.
Oh, no. The Mane thing I'll get on to, but what I'm talking about is this goal,
Bobby.
The ball breaks for Mane, Firmino, he turns, he plays a lovely ball down the side for Salah. Salah faces up the defender, tries to go inside. When the pass is actually there for Firmino, it happens to just ricochet to him in the end, and Firmino sticks
Salah
it away.
was hitting that himself all day long.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you know what? It probably goes in for him. So there's no wrong answer here. It's just two right answers. Either Bobby scores or Salah scores. Either way, for me, it's Liverpool scores. So I'm not too bothered.
I don't agree. I think if that goes slightly wrong, the ball doesn't get to Firmino and we don't score, and it's down to Salah not lifting his head and playing the pass in the first place.
Nah, I can't agree.
Okay, we leave it there. Okay, we're gone. Look,
Yeah.
The Grizz, it is 3-0, and probably the biggest talking point of the game. Without the goal, bar the goals and the 3 points, is Liverpool open up Burnley again down the right hand side. Firmino slots in Salah, who has a simple pass to Mane, who can just basically pass it into the net, and Salah's head is down again, tries to turn a defender who gets a touch and knocks it over a corner, and Mane absolutely loses the rag. And I can tell you, at times I've no issues with the grid when it's there, and but there's certain times where it just pass the ball and we knock it in the net. That could happen later on in the season in a crucial game where it's really tight, and we could end up dropping points or cost us something because a fella won't lift his head. If I was Mane, I would have slapped the head off, and that's what I'm basically saying.
Yeah, listen, if it was me, you and Matt playing, we would have done the same to each other. It's football, it's emotional. Not everyone, look, just like, we're humans, they're all humans. Not everyone is cool and happy-go-lucky as Bobby, right? Mane is a different animal, Salah's a different animal. And there's absolutely no harm in showing that passion as long as it doesn't affect team morale, the unity, the bond, and most importantly, the result. Now, I firmly believe Salah, if it was a crucial Champions League game and it was 0-0, etc., Salah wouldn't have done that.
I disagree.
Okay, that's fine, but it's my opinion at the moment. So I firmly agree. I firmly believe Salah would have passed that on. Now, yes, in that particular incident, Salah was wrong not to pass to him, but I think he took into consideration the score, the timing, the result, which still can be infuriating for your fellow attacker, but it is what it is. I totally believe he would have passed it if it was crucial, if it was tight, if it was a big game. Salah does want to win that golden thingy bob, whatever it's called, over Kane. He's made he's made it very clear. And good luck to him. If he carries on the stats that he's producing for Liverpool and the success that he's producing and how many games he's winning for us, I couldn't give a shit if Mane gets angry or does what, as long as it doesn't affect the team. And I think it won't affect the team. The reactions of the players, the coaches, the managers, and the sort of the snaps afterwards all shows and revealed everything's fine and everything's hunky-dory. It's far too an insignificant incident to sort of make a big deal out of it and think it's going to affect Liverpool going forward. I really believe that. I really believe that.
Matt, it's never going to affect the team. I don't think it is. I think I did watch it last night and thought when they get into that dressing room, there might be one or two awards had, and then it'll be finished with, and everyone will be back to business. Firmino walking up the tunnel and laughing while he's in between the two of them was absolutely top drawer. Henderson's on the bench looking at Mane, calling and telling Firmino that he's mad. Milner's like a father that's telling the child to shut up, and he's getting to the stage where if you don't shut up, I'm going to have to clip you across the ear. But But I don't have any issue with Mane getting upset, Matt, do you? Or showing it publicly. I think it just shows that he has a certain standard and he expects certain things to be done, and he wasn't happy about it. There's no issue with that, Matt, is there?
No, he's got every right to be pissed off. He should have passed it, absolutely. There won't be anything from it. Mane's too nice a guy. That for me, that was the biggest thing. I've never seen Mane not smile. I've never seen him angry. So it must have proper got to him. But you can tell he's the type of guy who will just shake it off in the changing rooms. And these things are good, where we've got a winning mentality and everyone wants to win, whether that's 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. They just want to keep on scoring as many as they can. So that's good. That can only be a good thing for the team. Klopp will sort it out. He answered the questions perfectly to the media as well. There's no issue over it, except for Salah's a greedy bastard.
I think it's good. No, I think it is. I think it's good. It's happened at this stage of the season. You know, like sort of. Do you remember the Alisson blunder last year, where it happened quite early? We got it out of the way.
Leicester away.
Yeah, we kind of thought it's not going to happen again, and things will be talked about and discussed. Similar, I think it's happened. Mane's first time in his career, Liverpool career, showed a bit of frustration, and I think the frustration was more at the Matt. What's the fitness coach's name? Cormier, something like that.
Don't know.
So yeah, I think it was more at the fact that he was substituted as a result of that than the actual event itself, because he thought, I think he was intimating, why didn't you sub Mo instead of me? He never passes to me, or he never passes, something like that. There was just frustration, I think, more than sort of anger as such. He was frustrated, and it happens.
No, I think the sub was going to happen either way. Regardless, I think that sub was going to happen either way. But I think what happened was when Mane came off, I don't think he knew that sub was going to happen either way, and then it looked like, taking me off.
I think Mane's been subbed every game.
He's going to be, because he's only back. He's the one that has the least amount of break. But I think he may have misunderstood the situation slightly and thought, oh, I'm getting annoyed here and they're taking me off, when it wasn't the case, because he sits on the bench and he's shouting and he's putting his two hands to the ground as if to say, all he had, it was a real gesture of, just pass it to me and I'll put it in the net, that kind of way. But look, I don't have an issue with it. It just shows that even at 3-0 up, they are desperate to be perfect in what they do. They are absolutely ruthless in what they do. Man of the matches, lads. Matt, I'll come to you first for your man of the match, because I think
Salah.
Okay. Now, who's your man of the match?
Bobby for me.
Okay.
And that's it? Done?
Yeah.
Okay.
No context?
No context. You fill the fucking context now. Go on, go for it, Chris.
Well, I think Bobby was lovely. Bobby was really lovely to watch. Really enjoyed Bobby. I love watching Bobby. It's fucking pure sex. I thought Fabinho, for me, just edged it. I thought it was total dominance and calmness amongst, as I said, the most shit-housed of teams that are trying to rough our centre-backs. Rough our centre-backs, rough up our midfield. Those two in central midfield, Westwood and Cork, they can't play much, but they love leaving a tackle in there, a leg in there, putting in margin. Even the two centre-backs, their two centre-forwards, when they drop deep, they love, pushing and shoving the DM or but amongst all that mayhem, I thought Fabinho was absolute elite. I think that was one of his maturest performances, and nothing panicked him. He totally protected the back two, and just owned that central area of the pitch. Gotta say, Gini and Hendo, very underrated performance as well. The way they cover the positions, like as Matt says, our front three have got a total license now to just attack and stay up there. And our fullbacks, knowing that our two number 8s are so intelligent off the ball. On the ball, they were creating spaces for our attackers. Off the ball, they were covering gaps when the fullbacks were going forward. So all in all, I think, it was a commanding performance from our all backs, all the centre mids, but I'll go for Fabinho.
Yeah, I
Some
have
context.
loads of context, like double helpings of it. I agree with you though. I thought Fabinho, I thought it was the area of the pitch where I don't think Burnley thought the defenders were going to do anything against us, getting full backs forward. I don't think they thought he may get much change out of us, out of our centre halves, but I did think they had a feeling they may get at Trent, possibly at Robertson, but in midfield they were going to try bully us and outfight us and stuff, and we laid down a marker very early and made it very clear to them that that's not the way things were going to go, and Fabinho was just, to the forefront, and that he was strong, physical, he was zipping passes around, he was breaking things up, even little stupid things, just coming over and blocking a guy as he goes down the wing and knocking out for a throw, just stopping any momentum, If anybody is watching on Twitter, just share it onto your timeline. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and the more people we get in here, the better to have a chat. If you have any random questions at all, send them in before we finish up in about 8 or 9 minutes time. Matt, a little birdie tells me that you're just taking this fantasy football. First time you've ever tried it, I heard. First time you've ever picked a team and you're winning. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't expect anything less, really. I'm pretty much a genius when it comes to football.
You've never even had the app, didn't you? You never picked a team before. You didn't have the rules, nothing.
There we go. Just picked my team. I know the good players, and it's not just about the most money. Like Grizzy just goes after the best of Man City. You've got to find the diamonds, and this is where being a god of knowledge of the in-depth teams in the Premier League helps.
Well, I didn't want to. You asked Matt, and I didn't want to burst his bubble, but because he's mentioned my name for no apparent reason, right? I must be on his mind. Because he's mentioned my name, I've got to say, Gav. Unfortunately, he's not on top. I'm on top. So you've got that slightly wrong. But hey, it is Matt's first year, and he's doing very well. Props to him. Shout out to Shawnee, who's second from bottom. Why are you laughing? It's early days. The cream always rises to the top. I expect Andy Young, who's actually bottom of the pile,
to stay there.
To stay there. And I expect the likes of Big Joe and Shawnee to rise to the top. I expect Matt to fall down the table, but at the moment he's doing very well.
I'm winning it this year.
Yeah, I think it's amazing to see a person come in, not know the rules of the game, and literally just go, all right, lads, send us the link to that app, and with that, he's just up there challenging straight away.
Fair enough.
Shawnee's got quite upset today because he's had an absolute disaster.
Shawnee needs to retire. He's terrible at it.
Well, I think what's putting him off is Grizz is messaging him most days, numerous occasions, asking, who did you have in? Like, Grizz has got to the stage there where when Kevin De Bruyne scores, he's cheering. You know what I mean?
Kevin De Bruyne.
I think what Shawnee's problem was is that he was reading WhatsApps from about 18 months ago, and he's seen Ings and Solanke's name, and he stuck them in the team for old time's sake, and it just didn't work with him. So that's what happened to Shawnee and his fantasy football. If anyone wants to join the fantasy football, go onto our Twitter page. There's a league there you can go in, and we're going to have prizes at the end of the season and stuff like that. Lads, any other business? And I'm keeping this fairly short tonight because I know Matt is on a mad time schedule over there. But have you anything else you'd like to speak about from the game yesterday? International break, maybe? Anything at all, Grizz? I'll let you go first.
No, I'm really angry and bored about this international break and like what we're going to do for 2 weeks, like without footy. But I'm actually okay about it. We're in a good place. It's going to be another 2 weeks for our injured players. I think the only major ones are Keita and Alisson. There's no one else out injured, is there? I can't think of anyone else. So it gives a chance for Keita and Alisson to recover more without missing any more games. So that's a blessing in disguise. And there's untold amounts of great TV at the moment so I can catch up on as well. It's brilliant. It really is. Peaky Blinders is started again. There's a brilliant...
Power is back.
No, I'm not really into Power. I'm into this... There's this Indian thing on Netflix called Sacred Games. Everyone should really get into it. It's brilliant. Gav, you'll enjoy it as well.
It's a singing...
Sacred Games, yeah. So that's on Netflix. Peaky Blinders. So loads of TV to catch up on. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in a couple of weeks as well. So, yeah, lots to look forward to and get us through this horrible, boring international break.
Have you sorted out a place that sells drink for me and halal for you?
Correct, I have indeed.
Yeah, Matt reckons that if it's halal, if it serves drink and it's halal food, it's a kip.
Well,
Yeah, it's an absolute shithole, 100%.
It's East London. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Good luck, Gav.
Is that meant to impress me?
I don't know
do I need to bring armor or anything?
Don't expect Mayfair and Monaco.
Right.
But don't expect,
one of your shops.
Don't expect Dublin. The Whipple either.
Okay, cool. No problem. Listen, Matt, have you anything else you'd like to bring up before we go?
No, I'm okay.
You're
covered
okay.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, I wanted to keep it short enough tonight because I know you're about 11 hours ahead of us. I think you have to go to work in 8 minutes there.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the way now. I'm on the tram.
All right, okay. Right, boys, listen, it's been a good show. Liverpool, as I said, have won 4 from 4, top of the league, the only team with a 100% record. We go into the international break, and all we can hope is, A, our players play well, and B, they come back without any injuries. That's really all we can hope for.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really all we can hope for. Look, it's been another good one. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. So join me then. Matt, thanks a million.
Cheers, mate.
Grace, thanks a million.
No problem, bro.
Okay, see you all later. Over now.